Giants fans were sent into a frenzy on Friday night by a New York Daily News report that Patriots coach Bill Belichick season opening to get to the Giants. The report followed an in-depth ESPN piece that speculated that internal strife could lead to the end of the Patriots' unprecedented run with owner Robert Kraft, Belichick and quarterback Tom Brady. The possibility of Belichick, who was a Giants assistant from 197,990, returning to the Meadowlands is tantalizing. But is it realistic? It has long been speculated that the Giants are the only other organization the 65-year-old Belichick would coach. It's well documented that he has a soft spot for the franchise that launched his career with 2 Super Bowls as defensive coordinator. So, it's not surprising that a source close to Belichick told the Daily News that the Giants are the only place he wants to be if he leaves New England. But one passage in the report should pump the brakes on the BB2NYG hysteria. The source has not spoken to Belichick since the ESPN story came out. If the source hasn't spoken to Belichick since the explosive ESPN story was published, then when did these conversations take place and how serious were they? When the source says Belichick season opening to get to the Giants, that comes across as far more speculative, knowing that the source hasn't been in touch with the 5-time Super Bowl champion since the ESPN story broke. How much would Belichick cost? Most Patriots beat reporters spent Friday discrediting parts of the ESPN piece and downplaying the possibility that this will be the final season of Belichick and Brady in New England. Even if this is the end, it likely wouldn't be a smooth transaction, with Belichick walking away to take over the Giants. No one knows the details of Belichick's contract, but it's difficult to imagine Kraft ever letting the coach enter the final year of a deal to avoid this type of situation. So, assuming Belichick is under contract, it would cost a boatload to acquire him, with the Patriots' demands undoubtedly starting with the Giants' number 2 pick. In 2002, the Raiders traded coach John Gruden to the Buccaneers for 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks and $8 million in cash. That would likely be the baseline for the Patriots in any negotiations involving the far more accomplished Belichick. There are other roadblocks on Belichick's potential path back to East Rutherford. While Giants co-owner John Mara, general manager Dave Gettleman and assistant general manager Kevin Abrams were in Foxborough, Massachusetts, to interview Patriots coordinators Josh McDaniels and Matt Patricia on Friday, tampering rules prevented the Giants brass from contacting Belichick about their opening. Now, surely the Giants would be able to gauge Belichick's interest through back channels. But without a locked-in commitment from Belichick's camp, the Giants would be taking a major risk to wait until after the Patriots' playoff run to pursue the coach. In the interim, the top attainable candidates, like McDaniels and Patricia, will likely come to agreements with other teams. The Giants could be left in desperation mode if they wait for Belichick and he ultimately decides to stay in New England or retire. Gettleman's presence adds another variable to the equation. The 66-year-old didn't come to the Giants a week ago to be a puppet. But Belichick has had the final say over the roster throughout his time in New England. Could these strong-willed individuals work something out? Potentially, but it also seems like a recipe for disaster. With so many hypotheticals to consider, odds are that Belichick's return will remain a fantasy. But crazier things have happened. Stay tuned. Introducing the Giants' Dave Gettleman era. Dan Duggan may be reached at duggan@newadvancemedia.com. Follow him on Twitter at Duggan21. Find our Giants coverage on Facebook.